Look, Mom, I'm a jazz player. If you just play like any jazz chord, it almost always sounds like you're going somewhere. And I think people who study jazz are just people who know how to end it. All right. Dave Chappelle jokes are dangerous. Trans Youtuber Samantha Lux. So I'm assuming this is Miss Samantha Lux. So here we go. I'm sure this won't be controversial at all.
This video is just meant to provide another perspective to these jokes that Dave is telling to hopefully kind of balance out the negative impacts that they can have.
Okay. So, doesn't sound like it's gonna be bad.
If you also are not familiar with Dave Chappelle, he is a straight man, not gay, not trans, none of the above, which I will say I do think it would make a difference if he was gay or trans, you know what I mean? I feel like gay people can make jokes about gay people, trans people can make jokes about trans people.
Flame Monroe makes...
Okay, I mean, they're about to just say what I was thinking, I'm sure, because they're already showing what I assume is a trans woman. No. You can make jokes about anything. I unfortunately, I guess, fall on the side of these are just jokes. I'm sure I'm privileged in some way, shape, or form to have that belief, but unfortunately, that's what the belief that I have. So what are you gonna do?
Should poor people only be able to make fun of poor people? Rich people, rich people?
No,
Americans.
Poor people can make fun of rich people because they're punching up. You see on that layer?
If you're on the bottom layer, it's perfectly acceptable for you to punch everyone upwards. If you want to punch against oppression, it's acceptable. But oppression cannot punch against the oppressed. Yeah. I'm not.
Yeah. Because I can be sympathetic to why, but unfortunately I am not of the mind that jokes cause violence. And this whole oppression thing, or not oppression thing, but this whole like punching up and punching down thing is, I don't know. Or maybe I'm just too old, but to me it's just nonsense. It's just nonsense. Part of me feels sympathetic and wants to help, because generally speaking, I'd like to help. But I don't think it's going to go down a good path if we start going like, only these people can say things about these people, because it's not going to go great.
I dislike it when people gatekeep who can make jokes about who. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you can't make fun of them. They're oppressed. Why not? Why not? They're vulnerable people. Kids are vulnerable too. I love watching them fall. It's hilarious.
He's got a point. Watching children fall is kind of funny.
If somebody is trans themselves, I feel like it's completely up to them to decide how they want to talk about their struggles or, you know, make art out of their experiences. The same thing goes for race or gender. I think if a black person wants to make jokes about their struggles with, you know, being a black person, I think that's fine. I think if a woman wants to make a joke about being a woman, that's fine. However, I don't think the opposite is true. I don't think it would be okay for a white person to joke about a black person's experience. I don't think it would be okay for a man to joke about a woman's experience. And I also don't think it would be okay for a cisgender person to joke about a trans person's experience.
Okay, they're about to go off, so I'll go off before they go off. Get the fuck out of here. This isn't how society works. I hate to break it to you. And it's not even how society should work. No. That's insanity. That's insane.
Notice the direction. She only said it one way, which what?
Yeah.
Literally aligns with one way of this.
Yeah.
Aren't you supposed to be one of the greatest comedians? There's a flag. You really have to resort to attacking another minority community.
See, here's the thing is that you might have watched the special. You didn't listen to it. I can tell you that much. You did not listen to that special. You got mad at what you thought you heard. I watched the special. It's not what people are saying it is. This dude isn't just mercilessly shitting on trans and gay people for no reason. It's within the context of a joke. It's within the context of a story. He's not standing up there and just shitting on people for no reason with no jokes and then going like, joke. Like, that's not what's happening. If you didn't like the jokes, okay, fair enough. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that they're objectively funny. You like whatever the fuck you like. But to sit here and be like, he just made fun of people and he was just mean is like, no. He made a joke. He made multiple jokes.
Comedians is the news. If you look at comedy that did not age well, it's a reflection of not the comedian, but the era which he lived in. So if you talk a lot and you're all in the news and stuff like that, we're gonna talk about it. Olympics just passed. UFC is happening. There's a whole lot of y'all in the news. Of course, we're gonna be talking about that. Same thing as with the George Floyd thing. People are gonna talk about that. Michael Shea just had a special. He talks about the vaccine. Why? Because he's part of the propaganda? No! Because that's all he had to do for the past 18 months. That's it. It's a reflection of the world and where we live. That's it.
That's it. I mean, he's got a point. Like, comedy isn't people going like, knock, knock, who's there? Orange who? It's not people coming up with just like dumb jokes. Like, it's like the fucking 20s, like the 1920s or some shit. Like, this is people talking about life. This is people talking about what's happening at the time. And if trans people are in the news or being seen more often and being, you know, there's a conversation happening, then it's like, I mean, yeah, what do you expect to happen? Like, people are going to talk about what's going on. I think Preach has a pretty solid point there.
What did Dave Chappelle talk about in his special as well? He spoke about the baby. The bitch just happened. Cause it's current.
If you guys are enjoying today's video, make sure you leave a like and a comment. Help us out with that algorithm. Push the video to everybody. That's how you can do it. Just smash it, okay?
Hey, you heard ABBA. Like the video that you're watching right now. Like, go down there and go like.
That the special was definitely upsetting to me as a trans person. It hurt my feelings, you know, it got me good. Whether you care if it hurt my feelings is up to you. I really don't care if you care, you know what I mean? Like, okay, you're an asshole. I don't care if you don't care.
For someone who doesn't care, you sure do seem like you do. But okay, I'll just continue being an asshole. I'm all right with that.
Or that it's not because the joke was not funny that it's not a joke. You just didn't think it was funny, which is fun.
Listen, comedy's always funny until it's directed at you. And
Yeah.
then it's oppressive.
Comedy is just like a drunk uncle at Christmas. It's funny until he touches you.
There you go.
All right, Preach. God damn. They've got a point. I'm not gonna lie, when I watch comedy and all of a sudden they start talking about brown dudes, you know what? Yeah, it stings a little bit, you know, and it's just a little less funny than it was before, but that's the game. When it comes to you, you smile and or fuck it, man. Just be so confident in yourself that like you're just like, this isn't me. I'm not being talked about. Just because he's talking about a brown dude doesn't mean it's it's me. Oh my God.
Regardless of whether or not my feelings were hurt, though, there are a few arcs throughout the special that I feel are potentially dangerous to the progress
I like her eyebrows. I like that her eyebrows are faded. And I mean that unironically. It's actually kind of a cool, like, thing.
of the trans community. The Netflix special starts out, and while there are some funny moments, you know, I'll give it to him, there are some funny moments, there are also a lot of moments that are problematic and very clear.
I wonder if when he was making fun of other people's identities, you were laughing. Or if you were just kind of stone-faced and annoyed every single time he made a joke at the expense of a different identity. My guess is you didn't give a shit until it showed up to your doorstep. And then you had a problem with it.
Indicated where he stood on certain issues such as COVID. Like, he says that he didn't even get sick from COVID, which is like, okay, are you trying to, like, what are you trying to say? He complains about the...
He's trying to say he didn't get sick from COVID. Maybe I have to watch it again, but it's like, what are you implying by bringing that up in that manner? Are you trying to say that he brought it up himself and to like show off? I don't know.
Increase of attacks on Asian Americans, then compares black people beating up Asians to his immune system fighting off the COVID virus.
That was funny.
Okay, now I remember the joke, and it was fucking hilarious. You murdered the material, and somehow at the end of it, it was still funny to me. You didn't say it as a joke, and it still got me.
About the increase of attacks on Asian Americans, then compares black people beating up Asians to his immune system fighting off the COVID virus.
That was funny. But
playing into the whole myth.
It's kind of funny. Even with you not saying the joke, it's still funny to me.
That's a funny ass joke. That's a funny ass joke. That's funny. But again, if you don't like it, you don't have to like it. You don't have to like it.
I will say that he also does poke fun at anti-vaxxers and clarifies that he himself is vaccinated. So like, that's good, I guess. Right? We'll give him that. We love making fun of anti-vaxxers.
So you see?
Right. So, I mean, they're just gonna say the thing that I'm about to say, but it's just what the truth is. So you are completely fine with people who identify as anti-vax or who you identify as anti-vax and they have no choice in the matter. And then when jokes are made at their expense, then it's fine. But this is the shit that we're talking about. Is it like you can't just sit, like you're like you have to punch up and punch down. What direction are anti-vaxxers? Anti-vaxxers is a group of people who sit anywhere in between the richest and the poorest. And it doesn't matter the race or the gender. Like it's just a group of people. So where the fuck is the punching up or down in this case? Are they up? Are anti-vaxxers up? Why are they up? Because they have the privilege of not being like what's the mentality here? So why is it okay in the direction that you say it is, which is up? And again, what are anti-vaxxers in this case? Are they up?
It's perfectly acceptable. It's perfectly acceptable to make fun of the groups that she doesn't like. But the groups she does like, can't do that. How do you think she's going to react when she finds out that a lot of the anti-vaxxers are minorities? Probably doesn't give a fuck.
But
Virtue signaling.
Probably doesn't know. It's not even give a fuck. I'm sure she will. I'm sure if you told her the info, she would give a fuck. I'll give her that much. But like, she clearly is ignorant on the fact that that's the case. At least in America. I don't know what it is in Canada because that's where these guys are from. You know what I mean? But yeah.
The bulk of his content source, the alphabet people, or the BTLGs, or the QRF double. I don't even know letters anymore. Apple Jew? What the fuck is an Apple Jew? But like LGBT. Is it really that hard?
That's not what it is anymore, dude. Oh God, that's not a misgendering thing. I call everyone fucking dude, okay? I call my own girlfriend a dude. I just go, dude, come over here. Like, I call everyone dude. This isn't like a misgendering thing. Please don't fucking like cancel me or whatever. This isn't what's happening.
Apple Jew? What the fuck is an Apple Jew? But like
I don't know what an apple Jew is, but it sounds delicious.
LGBT.
Okay. Dude, it's not LGBT anymore. It's, if I'm not mistaken here, and there's actually variations of this, but so far as far as I know, it's no, hold on. There's a 2 in there. LGBTQIA. Is it 2? Fucking A. Hold on. LGBTQIA 2S plus. I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking at it literally right now. The Portland Art Museum. I have to assume that Portland knows what the fuck is going on when it comes to this. What does LGBTQIA2S plus mean? It is an acronym for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and or questioning. So Q means 2 different things, and they didn't want to put 2 Qs. Intersex, asexual, 2-spirit, and the countless affirmative ways in which people choose to self-identify. So 2S is for 2-spirit, and then plus means everything else. Why they decided to end it at 2-spirit, I don't know. But it's clearly not LGBT anymore. And I don't know what to tell you, but even I knew that. As someone who isn't a part of the LGBTQIA, I already forgot it. I'm not a part of them. I'm not a part of you, her people. I'm not. I try to keep up to date because I don't want to fucking be a dingus. All right, like I don't want to be, unless I want to be, and I'm having a hard time not wanting to be right now. Like it's not LGBT. Sorry, there's more. There's more to it, and you're wrong. There's more to it. You're a part of this community. You should know what it is.
Is it really that hard? Like, just practice it like 3 times. I swear you can.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. LGBT is a shitty acronym. Sometimes you get acronyms and it's like Emma, right? The word acronym sounds great. LGBTQ doesn't sound great. Shitty acronym.
Notice how even he said LGBTQ, because I think that's the actual norm. LGBTQ is where we're at. LGBT is what it was before. LGBTQ, I believe, is like the modern popular term, and then there is the LGBTQIA if you're really deep in it, and then if you're really, really deep in it, if you're at the forefront of it, then we're talking about LGBTQIA2S+. Oh boy.
LGBTQ2IA sounds stupid.
Oh, okay.
And you don't believe me?
So he knows them.
Even the LGBT people say hate the acronym.
I know.
Yeah, they constantly complain. Why are we adding so many letters? This shit looks dumb.
Yeah, I know of someone who doesn't enjoy the fact that there's just like a bombardment of letters at the end of all this shit now.
Are there some
You
people
fucked
who
up.
appreciate having LGBTQIA plus be a thing that exists? Do they feel like it helps them be seen or their friends be seen? Anybody here?
So no one,
At all?
but y'all- I'm okay.
Sometimes it just gets to be too many damn letters.
It's a lot.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a lot.
That's an old ass video. That was a video where it was like Republican and left and right, like LGBTQ members, like both sides of that conversation went, yeah, it's too much.
Are a few arcs throughout the special that I think have, transphobic roots, we'll say. The first of which, there's 3, if you're curious. The first of which is the proclamation that the modern day LGBT movement or the modern day LGBT community is too sensitive and too brittle.
To be fair, though, I feel like most people feel as though most folks have become too brittle.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably fall in the same camp, unfortunately.
And too frail. My experience is that people feel like the world is soft.
Yeah.
And I'm really inclusive. So I feel like since you guys are part of the world, you're soft too. Soft like Charmin. Right? So it's okay.
Rather that he just isn't a fan of these newer gays because, like I said, they're too sensitive and they're too brittle. And he then brings up the whole DaBaby situation to try to show how, sensitive and brittle we are and the damage that we cause to, good people's careers. DaBaby, a good person? Come on.
I think she can't recognize sarcasm.
Do you think Dave Chappelle was defending DaBaby? I hate that that dude's name is DaBaby. Do you think he was defending him? Do you think he was actually defending DaBaby? He wasn't. He was making fun of DaBaby. I hate this dude's name. You watched it. I'll give you that much. It does seem like you watched the special. It doesn't seem as if you listened to the special.
If you aren't familiar with the whole DaBaby situation, I do have a whole video on it. You're welcome. But to sum it up really quickly for you guys, basically he said that people with HIV are dirty. He praised people for not being gay. It was a whole mess, and then afterwards he actually refused to apologize and doubled down on his homophobia, saying that if gay people want us to accept them for being gay, then they have to accept me for being homophobic. Sir, that's not how that works.
I'm not going to say I agree with DaBaby. I don't think you should be homophobic. That seems like a strange thing to do, especially nowadays. But he's allowed to be if he wants to be. It's not great, but if he wants to be, he's allowed to be. You can't force him to not be a thing he isn't, or a thing that he doesn't want to be.
Of his shows were canceled because what music festival is going to want a performer that bashes a large portion of their customer base?
You mean like Eminem? Carry on.
You mean like most rappers who say anti-gay stuff? Like, what do you guys think? Do you think your favorite rappers like gay folks? Are you guys not aware that like homophobia is like very, very, very commonplace within the black community, as well as most minority communities?
Yeah, that's also true. It's getting better. It does seem to be getting better. People seem to be being more open about those types of things, but it's still a little rough.
My favorite part of Dave calling us too sensitive, though, was when he said that we were being too sensitive and he misses the Stonewall gaze. You know what the Stonewall people did? They started violent riots demanding respect and demanding equal rights. But calling out how what DaBaby did is problematic on Twitter is too far? Okay, Dave. The aims of the majority of the LGBT community is not to cancel everybody that doesn't agree with us or to get everybody that doesn't agree with us fired and ruin everybody's lives. I mean, I'm sure there are some people out there that would like that. Rightfully so. I'm just kidding. That was a joke.
You know what this reminds me of?
Okay, so that's a joke. So is it okay to make jokes like that about people losing their livelihoods, about crazy trans people going out of their way to make everyone else's lives miserable just because they don't agree with the same ideology that you do? Why is that joke okay? Is that punching up still if you're getting those people fired? People who just don't completely agree with you? Is that always just punching up? I don't know, man. It seems odd. Well, okay, yeah, I mean, hey, man, 30,000 likes, 300,000 views. Obviously, I'm not in a minority here, I don't think. It's just weird, man. Like, this is why I sit on the side of, like, just, I hate to break it to you, but you just don't listen to comedians or listen to the ones that you just like. If you can't handle the jokes, oh, I can handle the jokes. Obviously not. Sorry. I'm sorry. You can't. You just can't. All right? I'm sorry. So that about does it for me. Hold on. Let's do just this. That's nice. That's nice. It's nice and clean, too. Thanks for stopping by. I came up with a nice new little chord progression. It's not new, but I like it. It's nice and jazzy. Sweet, sweet resolution. There's a voice inside of my head that's just telling me to just shut it the fuck off. So I'm just gonna click the button, and then whatever happens, happens. And then the mouse is gonna move over. It's gonna hit on that thing. It's gonna be like, hey, go leave now, because it's fine to leave now. Have a good night. Bye.